can I design and plan out an entire online program, a flagship course with the new designer OnlineCourses.ai. I'm very excited by this tool. This tool is designed to help me plan, strategize, and write all the copy for an entire marketing funnel around a new program. All of the heavy lifting is handled and done through their program, so I don't have to worry about coming up with ideas for headlines, ideas for landing pages, ideas for what the webinar is going to be about, what the content of the course is going to be. All I have to do is go through their step-by-step process, and at the end, I'm going to have an outline for a course so I know what to create as far as the content, and then I can copy and paste everything into my pages to have a final complete funnel. Now, they promise on their homepage that they save you about 100 hours. We're going to find out how much time it actually saves me. And I'm going to go through this entire process. I'm really excited to have you guys with me. Let's work together and find out if Online Courses lives up to its promises. I have a very specific goal, and I'm very excited to test this platform. I want to let you know right out the gate, I was given 1 year free access, and then I have to pay full price if I keep my program. I've had this for more than 2 months. I haven't done anything beyond creating my account. I need to go in and see if this is worth the price, because this is a little bit of an expensive platform. This was built by Alessio, who is the former head of marketing for Mindvalue. So I know he knows what he's talking about. Now, Alessio runs an agency that builds funnels for people, and he built an AI for his internal company and decided to release it to the world, which usually means it's going to be a pretty good tool. I have an amazing interview with him on my podcast. I'll put a link to it right below this video because it's on my podcast channel. I haven't released that interview yet because I need to test the tool before I release the interview about it. Now, this is not the same as Course Out. If you haven't seen my Course Out video, you definitely want to click the card and see what it can do, because Course Out is very different. Course Out is a great program that you upload a video, it turns it into a course. If you already have content, you already have the information you want to put in the course, Course Out works that way. Online Courses works in the opposite direction. The way this platform works is that you take an idea and that's it. It starts from step 0. You go through the entire process of, here's my idea, help me build out my course. So here's what we're going to do throughout this video. I'm going to build an actual flagship course called Future Proof Resume. I've already bought the domain. That's how I picked the name. I went through a bunch of names until I could get the domain. I own futureproofresume.com, and it's designed to fit a very specific need. The majority of my audience is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I spend most of my time connecting with other people that want to grow their business. I was talking to a friend of mine who is in the job seeker space. He helps people lose their jobs get back to work. One thing I've noticed is that when you're in your 20s, usually when you lose your job, it's your own fault. You show up late, you don't come in, you fight your boss. After you're 30 or after you start having kids and switch that maturity switch, it's usually not your fault. Most of the time, it's because of something happened. The entire company decides they need to downsize, the company goes through an acquisition, or your boss mismanages, or something like that happens. So often people lose their jobs and they didn't actually do anything wrong. He helps people to improve their resume, improve their LinkedIn profile, improve their interview skills, improve those tests you sometimes have to take to get back to work, and all of that process. When we were talking about it, he said to me, do you have a course that helps people to start their own business with AI? You have a course that teaches people how to be an AI consultant, but you don't have a course or any training that helps people who just want to learn AI to protect their job or to get back to work. I know the exact need I want to fit in. It makes sense because a large percentage of my audience on LinkedIn, they're people who don't want to quit their job or start their own business. They just want to protect their job and learn the AI skills they need to continue their job in the future. Very interesting. Really shined a light on something I should have been paying attention to. That's all I have figured out. My experience as a product creator is extensive. Since 2010, I've been making products full time. I've made over 100. My products have made north of 9 figures. I've worked with a lot of different clients. People pay me, I don't want to say how much money because I don't want to be uncouth, but it's a lot of money just to talk to them about how to build their course. This is my core competency. Before I was writing books, before I was in the AI space, I was creating courses. I know exactly how long it would take me to build that course from A to Z. If I don't do anything else, it's going to take me 3 to 4 weeks of work, meaning full-time, 40 hours a week. Anywhere from 100 to 120 hours, I think, would take me from idea to writing the course, writing the webinar, recording all the videos, recording the webinar, creating all the additional materials like the worksheets that go with each lesson and SOPs that go with each lesson and all the additional stuff, the lesson descriptions, all that extraneous stuff. So with that baseline, I want to see if online courses can beat what it would take me to do normally and create a better product. Here's one thing I do want to keep in mind. There are certain parts of the process that I really don't like. I like writing webinars. I like recording the webinar. I don't like writing the emails around the webinar. I don't know why. So there's small things I don't like. I like recording my lessons. I don't like writing the lesson description on the actual lesson page. Let's take a look at online courses and see exactly what it does, what it costs, what it promises before we dive into our tests. This is OnlineCourses.ai. Now, if you decide to check it out, I do have a link below to a free trial. I'm going to take this entire thing through its paces so you can make a really easy decision without having to spend a penny. Let's go through their features. They promise to do 96% of the work. That means I should be able to build my entire course in 4 hours. Interesting. It's a very easy promise for me to measure. Let's go through what they talk about. They have 27 templates and outcomes. They promise to save 100 hours. Exactly what I said. So let's look at the difference. Guess your customers, define your customer in seconds. This is something I talked to Alessia about specifically. I've gone through the process of defining my customer with ChatGPT, so I'm excited to see what their process is. I know they're built on top of ChatGPT, but they've built a lot of custom stuff in between. Create your course in minutes, get targeted social media strategies, high converting funnels with 4% effort, automate your content, generate sales while you sleep. Tried and true, and see their business. It's a big promise. There's a couple things that I think are really good here. Number one is creating your entire funnel. There are 2 areas of expertise. One is copywriting, which is writing the sales material, the things that lead people to make the purchase. And the second is the actual content creation. I learned content creation first. I was doing that for 6 years. Only in 2016 did I start learning copywriting, and it took me 3 or 4 years. I know this actually is teaching 2 really high level skills. And if we can solve this problem, then it's absolutely worth the price. Designing your customer avatar is one of the hardest things for people in a new business. They really struggle with this. I have built a process to do this with ChatGPT. I'm excited to see if their process is better. I'm very interested in all of the additional content because this is usually where I falter myself, because I have to create emails for myself, emails for like affiliates or other people who are going to promote my offer or partners. I have to create emails for people that register for the webinar and don't show up. I have to create emails for people that look at the sales pitch, don't buy. There's a lot of things you have to make that are part of the marketing campaign after the course creation that are my least favorite part of the process. So that's where I start to lose excitement. It's interesting they talk specifically about social media because I'm very excited about that part of the campaign because it covers everything else. This is way more than a course creator. This is really an entire funnel builder, and it's very interesting. And you can see they have a happy lady who built it. It says it can 8 minutes, not days. Now let's see how they compare to ChatGPT Plus. Everything that they're talking about here, I know how to do, but it's hard. I have built custom bots to meet each of these different needs. So if they can meet that need, it's a massive time save for me. We've got some cool testimonials. Let's see if they'll show the prices. So this is interesting. They say upgrade options for different things. I know that the plan I'm locked in on. So when they show the pricing, I'll cover that with you guys because it may have changed because I set up my account about 2 months ago. I haven't had time to do anything since then. You're going to see me do everything in real time. But I'm very excited to test this. You can see that it's a very simple promise, but there's a lot of mechanics to the promise. And the question is, can they deliver? I have a couple of things that I'm worried about right out the gate. Number one, will the copywriting be any good? Copywriting is an area where ChatGPT really struggles. It's very hard to get good copy out of ChatGPT. It's possible, but it's challenging. They happen to know that you can build an online course and export it to other platforms. And we're going to go through that as we go through this process. Overall, I'm very excited to do this and I can't wait to dive in. I'm going to log in and I'll be right back. Now I'm logged into the dashboard. This is the homepage. This is my first time looking at this. And you can see that it's pretty simple. So we're going to look at our options. And instead of going over here and getting crazy, I'm going to just follow their wizard because that's the value. That's all I care about. So we have a choice of challenge funnel, webinar funnel, product launch formula funnel, summit funnel, quiz funnel, and low price product funnel. I've built all 6 of these, many of these. I want to build a webinar funnel, but let me know in the comments if you want me to come back and create a challenge funnel because I'm thinking about doing that because I've seen those doing very well recently. And I've thought about it's a way to create more content for my audience. This has a lot of my attention. I'm good at webinar funnels. So this is what I want to stick with is my wheelhouse. I want to stay in my area of biggest expertise. Let's see what happens when I click this little dot. So clicking the box didn't work. I had to click the dot. What type of product are you selling? Let's see what the choices are. Course, membership, coaching, live event. It's easy course. Briefly describe your product. Okay. My product is going to be a training program to teach employees and people who've lost their jobs how to use AI and add that skill to the resume. The purpose is to protect them from a future where AI skills are mandatory for their position. I want to protect them from losing their job to someone who's younger and knows AI. This is to protect them from losing their job and make them competitive if they ever enter the job market again. I want to make it clear that this course is not just for people who've been fired. I want to be broader than that. The challenge of the job seeker niche is that people are only in it for a short window of time. If you lose your job, you're a job seeker, but once you get hired again, you jump out. So if I am only targeting that time window, I have to find the right customer in a tiny window of time. which can be anywhere from a couple of weeks to about 3 months. That's usually the average length that people are in between jobs at the higher levels. I want to target much broader than that because I want to target those people before they lose their job, while they're out of work, when they're back at a new job and worried about having to go through that process again. I want to have a little broader appeal that solves that specific need so that I'm not limited to that time window, but it's the same customer. Now I'm going to hit submit and let's see what happens. Got 2 more questions to get through. Go to your product. Choose the language of your funnel. Well, that's a pretty easy question to answer, isn't it? It's going to be English. Now, this is interesting. You can do English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, Italian, Ukrainian, Russian, Dutch. Most of the European major languages. Not all of them, I know, but they're all European languages. Let's see what we have next. Who is your audience? Describe your customer persona. Feel free to use the output of the tool customer persona in the marketing strategy tab. Part of me is afraid that I'll lose my work so far if this happens, but let's see what happens. They suggested it. Yep. So let's build my customer avatar. I want them to do it. Instead of me filling in the gap, I want to provide as little information for me as possible. This is annoying because I already filled that in, isn't it? Let me see if it's still on that other page. Are you here or did you get lost? Okay. Go back. Marketing strategy. Let's just go in here and build our customer avatar. So that's 1 point off. It told me to go to another page and then it lost my work. We'll see what happens again when I hit submit. Okay. Give me an answer, which is good. And then I guess I'll go back to funnel. I think that this should be integrated a little bit better. We've hit our first small hiccup, but having to jump between tabs instead of it being embedded on the page, it's a little bit silly to me because I can see a possibility of confusion. It's generated a customer avatar for me, which is interesting. There's a whole bunch of options here. Regenerate, customize copy, save to drive. Let me download it as a PDF. The rest of this seems right to me. The age is correct. So I have just turned 43. My audience is all 45 or 65 or in that range. So that is pretty good. The name is silly. I wish I'd given a better name. I don't really like that because it's not memorable. And also my name is Jonathan. So other than that, pretty accurate. I'm going to download this as a PDF just so that I don't lose it. That's a customer example. Then we're going to click on our customer avatar. Let's see if it'll just give me an avatar here. Here we go. I'm also going to download this as a PDF. We have our 2 documents. Make sure that they're downloaded correctly. So we have our customer example and our customer avatar. Very interesting. I usually merge those as the same thing. Now we can go back to our funnel. Let's click on my projects and see if it's not lost. You saved the day, OnlineCourses.ai. So let's open up this funnel. Let's see where it puts me in the process. Describe the persona. Okay. So this worked. It was a little bit confusing, but it did actually work. One of the confusions I have is that they're not using matching language. It gave me a customer avatar and a customer example, but it didn't give me a customer persona. I'm going to guess that it wants my specific example, but I want to point out whenever there's a little hitch in the process, because hopefully they'll watch this video and see that's an area we can improve. The 2 terms should match because people who are not familiar with these terms will also get lost. And someone like me who's always thought of customer avatar and customer example as the same thing. Here's my customer. I'm going to copy this in and paste it. The output is still amazing. This is still really aces. For me to generate this output on my own would have taken significantly longer. It would have taken me about 15 minutes with ChatGPT. So I know how much time it's just already saved me, even with that tiny hiccup. Okay, so pretty good. Their second guess is almost the name I chose, right? Mine is called Future Proof Resume. They got it right on the second guess, like Future Proof AI. It's not exactly correct, but it's not that far off. Now, AI domains are really expensive. If the letters AI are in a domain, they're 100x the price. All the registrars have just decided, you want AI in the name? That's a $10,000 website instead of an $11 website. It's just silly. Resume is fine. So we have the name. I'm excited by this now. This process is a lot smoother than I thought. So let's see what problem it solves. A limited intelligent AI technology. Yeah, this is really good. It took what I said earlier and it's really built on top of it. I'm very impressed right now. I actually thought I'm going to end up recording like 20 or 40 hours of footage and then have to edit it down for this video. I'm really pleased that it's going so quickly. This is really surprising me. I just assumed it'd be more of an arduous process. And I like that it guesses at each step of the process. Learn practical skills in demand today, boost their resume to protect your job, advantage, safeguard your career. Yeah, it's very good. It's saying what I already said, but it looks great. right? It took what I said and it's really expanded it in a way that I'm very impressed by. So I have no complaints. How do customers feel with the problems they're facing? Concern about job security, fear of becoming obsolete, anxiety of younger individuals, pressure with limited knowledge and skills, and determination to take benefit. If you are watching this video and some of this matches you, let me know in the comments below if the AI is right or if you're interested in AI for different reasons. Because I want to know if this is right, because maybe my assumptions are wrong because it's based on the limited number of my customers that I talk to. So far, this is very cool and very interesting. Let's see what's next. I like that it's getting the answers right. It saved me so much work. This is blowing my mind. It's working better than I expected it to, which is a really pleasant surprise. What are the features, advantages, and benefits? Features: comprehensive AI training program, practical and hands-on learning approach, expert-led instruction and guidance. I will be that expert. Flexible and accessible online course format, customizable curriculum to suit individual needs. Pretty good. Advantages: acquire in-demand skills, gain confidence, stay professionally relevant, enhance career prospects and employability, competing against younger AI savvy professionals. It's using a lot of really good terms here that I'm not sure I would have thought of. It's using these different names for the same thing, but they're very powerful words like professionally relevant, employability. I don't think I would have said the word employability. I don't think I would have thought of that. I'm seeing some really good stuff here. Let's look at the benefits. Protect your job from AI-driven automation, better job security in the future, overcome limited AI knowledge and fears, increase chances of career advancement, adapt to the growing importance of AI. This program is meant to protect you from being replaced by someone younger who knows how to use AI. However, I think a lot of people have the fear that their job as a whole will be replaced by AI. So that should be in there because this is going to end up in the copy and in the funnel. Let's go to the next page. What's the curriculum? It's definitely not going to be this. Not teaching people machine learning. That's the wrong direction. Ethical. Nope. All right. So I'm going to have to rewrite this curriculum. So I'm going to come back. I'm not going to make you guys watch me that, and then we'll go over what I've written. But we've hit our first hiccup, which is where I expected it. I wondered what would happen when it bounces against my expertise, and I have some specific ideas about what the course is going to contain, and I will write out the curriculum, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I've created my curriculum, and I'll just give you a quick overview of what I did. I just am more of a practical teacher than theory, and because I have created my fractional AIO course, which teaches how to do AI for businesses, I know what skills I want to include and which ones I want to change. So what I've written out is actually 15 modules, and you can see my descriptions are shorter, but I did reuse about half of what online courses came up with. These are areas I'm not qualified to talk about, right? I'm not an expert in ethics. I'm not an expert in legal stuff. So I try to stay away from that. Machine learning and data analysis is outside my areas of expertise. I don't want to teach someone how to be an AI programmer. That's what this is falling into. Instead, I want to pull back a step, right? This is pretty advanced AI stuff that I do know how to do, but 99% of my audiences is not them. The other thing I'm going to stay away from for now is specific industries. I had an amazing conversation with someone who's in healthcare AI just a couple of days ago. Healthcare AI is very specific, and I'm not qualified to talk about because they have HIPAA requirements, which means there are a lot of rules about how you handle medical data. Just down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. I know just enough to know I don't want to touch that electric wire. Same thing with finance. So these markets happen to have very specific compliance rules that I want to stay away from. I try to stay outside of my expertise. However, I'm very interested in a lot of the rest of this, basically the first half. And then AI and career development. Initially, this is not going to be specifically about like how to improve your resume with AI. That might be a secondary product I build. This is just how to develop the skills. So I'm going to paste in what I've created, my version. That's annoying. Seems to have lost all of the formatting. I don't want to go back and reformat everything. So we'll see what happens here. It's not that big of a deal. Let's hit submit. This is why I do everything in a Google Doc, so I have a backup. Now this is interesting. I have a very specific approach to how I create bonuses. Are they on the same wavelength as me? Exclusive access to AI industry experts, personalized coaching sessions, no way. Access to private online community, yes. Free access to AI toolkits and software research, lifetime access to update. What we're going to do, we have to do this again, but these aren't bad, but they're high labor. Imagine if every single person gets personalized coaching. That's me selling my time, and that changes what I have to charge for the program, and it changes my scalability. The very first product I ever sold, in the first day, I sold 40 hours of coaching, and I freaked out. how am I going to deliver this? I have to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with no break in between the coaching sessions. I don't want to sell any more than this because I know I can't deliver that. You have to go to the bathroom, you have to eat. You can't do back to back with coaching sessions. We all do the doctor's office, right? Where everything's backed up because one patient took 5 minutes too long and now the whole set of dominoes has fallen over. It's very stressful. I've been in that situation as a coach. So I don't want to do that because I want the program to be so good that it solves their problems and they can go through at their own pace. Let me quickly let's just go through bonus design. One moment. I've created my 5 bonuses and let me walk you through what they are. Most of these already exist for my other products. They just make sense as a crossover. That is my thumb on the scale. I already have content that I can reuse because it makes sense. I already have a LinkedIn profile training that I have included in one of my other programs, so it makes sense to use it here because it's still relevant for these people. TrendWatch also exists where I review lots of products like this. This is not my first time talking about this product. I've reviewed over 80 products inside my other membership area, so I can reuse that content. Very useful. I run a live event every 1 to 2 months. That's a 2 or 3 day event that I give access to all my customers to for free. Lifetime access, of course. I just had someone email me over the weekend who couldn't find their login from 2 years ago and was really upset. And I said, listen, your access is still there. The password hasn't changed. Let me sort you out. And they're so happy now, of course, because that's what you get. I'm never going to take it away. Now, I have a specific theory about the type of products I make. The product should be complete. The bonus should either accelerate how fast you learn, make it easier, like templates or software. And then the third type is assuming success. I know this program is going to work. And what will happen, because this happened to me, is that everyone at work is going to start asking you AI questions. I want to prepare you for that. What do you do when your manager is like, hey, can you help me with AI? And you can't get your regular tasks done. So we do have to talk to that. I feel really good about these bonuses. The bonuses that online courses came up were a lot of effort. They mean finding experts to interview. Coaching takes a lot of time. And because I live in a different time zone, it's a massive inconvenience for me. And it can be very challenging. I already have to do a lot of meetings in the middle of the night, and I don't want to do more of those. It doesn't mean that they're bad bonuses. I want to point out when things are bad and when things aren't. To me, those bonuses are fine, especially if it's your first product. The only thing it didn't have was the assumed success bonus. Let's hit submit. I feel good about these bonuses because they're not going to take me a ton of extra time, but they're going to give my audience a ton of value. That's what I always look for, is that ratio. Let's get to know your product better. Let's talk about this. A money back guarantee only works if there's not something that is limited in it. So if you do a 2-hour coaching call with me and then refund, I've given away 2 hours for free. And that means that I'm now losing instead of just dropping back to break even. Because I'm not selling coaching, I can offer a 30-day money back guarantee. So it's either or with that type of situation. So say, and we're stuff with the courses we're teaching, actively apply them. The way this is structured is you have to try. If you buy the course and don't watch the videos, you can't say it doesn't work because that's not my fault. If you buy a training from me, you try and it doesn't work, then it's my fault. So that's the line I draw. Now, everyone has a different perspective. I know people that do a 365-day, no questions asked guarantee. Everyone has their own school of thought. But for me, this is designed more than about refunds, but to try and get you to try. If you go through my program, I want you to do it. Most people who sell online courses, their money is made from people who don't go through the course. Because 80% of people buy your course, watch 1 or less videos. That's not what I want. This is providing a financial incentive to go through the program. You still have to get the value. I just want you to try. If you try and it doesn't work, that's a legitimate reason to ask for a refund. If you don't try, that's not my fault. So that's the line I draw. You can choose your own line. Let's go to the next page. What are the questions they have about the product? Okay. This is interesting. I want to see how good it does with these questions. I have, let's see, training benefiting in terms of job security. Do I need prior technical knowledge? How will the training enhance my resume? What distinguishes your program? Can I compete training program while working a full-time job? Absolutely. I'm going to add additional questions. Now, again, we're relying on my experience of having done this for a long time and having answered lots and lots of questions and done lots of webinars. How long do I have access to course materials? This question always comes in. Even though I answered it on the previous page, it's lifetime. So I try to do most of my support via community group because then if you ask a question, it's helpful to the other people, but I do also do a lot of email support. This is my question and answer slides from when I teach a webinar live. Whenever people ask a question, I just write it down. All I'm doing is choosing which one I'm going to use. Here's a common one. You only know if you've been doing this a long time. Some people have one email address for PayPal and one for like their personal business. Sometimes the PayPal email will end up in the membership area. Let's hit submit. Pretty excited to see how far we can take this. Let's see. What are the main objections to purchase? It should be fear of technology, cost, the most common ones, because those are the objections to every single product. A lot of the objections I've answered in the questions. I'm interested to see how this goes. Cost, time commitment, technical complexity, job uncertainty, effectiveness of the course. They're the right questions, and I can always tweak these later on. Let's hit submit. But I usually launch a course at $9.97 and then it goes to $12.97 or $14.97 over time once it's refined. The people that go in early, I have to tweak things and improve it. Once all that's done, then the value of the course is higher because I've gone through the growing pains. That's how I price it. So 4 times $297. And if you pay in a single payment, I'll give you a discount of $200 because it saves me the inconvenience because sometimes people don't make the later payments. What's my, I love that it gives you an example of what's a name. That's very funny to me. Like I know what a name is. So that's my name. Oh my goodness. Wants the long form of my bio. This should be something that they build it with you. This is not my favorite topic, like big upping yourself. I just copied that bio because it was for a conference I was speaking at. Fortunately, I actually had one of these that was updated and referenced, but I wish they wrote the bio with you. This is another area where there's a little bit of a hiccup because I could see someone being like, I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about my bio. Like it's a little hard to know what to include. And I don't know if there's other stuff I should include, like I'm a member of Mensa or my degrees or any of that stuff. So I'm just going to submit. We have to go and do our brand voice. So let's go do that. We're back on the marketing tab. I did customer avatar last time. This time I have to do brand voice. I wish it had me do the brand voice in order, then it would be easier than to jump in and out. I've opened a new tab just because I get scared. Even though last time it worked, I don't want to lose it again. Which language do I want to use? English. Some of this should just get saved. Everything I'm going to do is in English. Copy and paste a transcript of a video, an email, blog post, sales page, or a chapter of your book. This is the first chapter of ChatGPT Profits. Let's see what it does with my brand voice. My brand voice using other prompts. I don't know what this means because it's dash dash, but I think that's what I gave it. But it doesn't matter. I think this is what I need to go back to my other tab and say output from the marketing strategy. What's the brand voice of the author? They've done it again, right? They should say the brand voice choose another. They should just make it clear which one to use. There's just a small connection issue. Grade level 5. No, I write at the 5th grade level. That's cool. I'm aiming for, that's 10 years old. That is what I'm aiming for. Hit submit. We're now in what I consider dark territory because I have no idea what's about to happen. I know how I write webinars. I know how I structure webinars, but I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. Here's the choices for the webinar title. Notice that every single one of these has the colon in the middle, which is something that I hate. This is a standard ChatGPT issue. I talk about this in other videos. This happens all the time. This is normal. Let's see. AI job security, unlocking your potential AI skills, special job growth, AI advantage, secure job in a changing world. I'm thinking about what phrasing I want to use. There's 2 directions. I'm trying to decide right now. Do I want to talk about getting a raise or protecting your job? I don't like to do a lot of fear marketing. I'm not a big fear-based marketer. If you don't take this course, you're going to get fired. So I like this job security first. I think this is my idea. I feel pretty good about this. Actually, this is okay because it has the idea in it. Changing the title easy later should be easy. You guys secure a job and there's a period there and future-proof your career. Even this is the subtitle here. I feel good about this because it says I can do this even if you're a beginner because it doesn't matter. I like to teach people from beginning. Let's hit submit. What are the problems your webinar is going to solve? This is getting very interesting. I've never written a webinar this way. Fine to me. As much as possible, I do want to let online courses build everything without me making too many changes, but this is also a course I'm going to launch, so I'm trying to balance that. Highlight 4 or 5 common solution I expect after taking the challenge. Job improvement, future proofing, lifelong learning made easy. Sure. Seems fine. This has been a lot of questions. What? I don't know. So I'll just say, I love that the example's way in the past. I just don't know what Thursday will be because I don't know how long it's going to take me to build everything. It's not, I don't know I'm going to run it next Thursday, right? Is it going to be ready that fast? Maybe. This is the part where the magic happens. It's now making 5 different pages, 3 sets of emails, 2 video scripts, and 2 ads. To pay someone to do this, very expensive, by the way. I want to make a sales page from the webinar just for people who watch webinars so I can explain the offer. And I know that I have to pay a copywriter to watch the webinar and kind of codify it and write it down. Then I have to pay a designer to turn that into graphics. You're talking hundreds if you're lucky, but probably thousands of dollars for these tasks if you want to hire someone good. Everything it's doing here, if you just paid a copywriter and a designer to do this, it's going to be thousands of dollars for sure. Everything seems to be finished. Look at this landing page. Attention office administrators. I don't like that. Hire lose job hours, AI, learn AI skills, picture proof your career today. That's okay. Level up your resume, add AI skills, competitive edge. Yeah, I don't love the pre-headlines. They're okay. Let's look at the headline. That's more important. To me, those are like B minus, C plus pre-headlines. Look at the headline. Yeah, it's doing that thing again where every single thing has a colon inside of it. As far as creating the copy, it did a great job. Really useful tool and was able to meet my needs in a very specific way. I'm probably going to use it to design more sales pages for my existing products because now I understand the process. I know an hour process to get really good sales pages with good FAQs and good other elements is great. I can then copy and paste it into my other elements or have a designer do it. So my overall feeling is that for something that's solving this copywriting need, I think it did a really solid job. It has a really good approach. It feels really good. Now that I've finished building my webinar funnel with OnlineCourses.ai, it's time to take this text, the copy, and turn it into the graphical pages. Now, what's happened here is really helpful, right? All of my copywriting's done, and that's great. But then there's the part of how do I deploy it? And there's two ways to do that, which are both very interesting. So the first is that there are several templates they give you to work from on a couple of different platforms. So you can see they have WordPress and Go High Level right now. And WordPress only works if you have the Elementor plugin. So that's a separate tool. I do have that, so it's not a problem for me to download and deploy those templates. Now, these aren't AI, right? This part is you download the template, then you copy and paste in the text. So that's not the part I'm going to review because the part I care about is the AI component. This is an AI channel. That's the most important thing. However, they do give you access to an entire separate platform. So this is the separate part you can see of OnlineCourses.ai. This is their entire automation marketing platform, page building platform. I'm going to give you a quick look at this. I still have to go through the funnel and copy and paste everything in. It has a lot of tools in here. You can see funnels, websites, blogs, WordPress, client portals, forms, surveys. You can manage email lists in here, send texts in here. This is the full service platform. It's very cool that you get this. Most people charge a couple $100s a month for a similar tool. I know the software this is built on, so I'm very excited to see this. This really does beef up the value if you don't already have a platform. So let's just quickly look at the templates for what they look like, just to get a sense of the pages. And I'll click on each one and then open it in a new tab so you can see. So here's the challenge landing page that you copy the text into. You can see it's pretty simple. Here's what it looks like for a thank you page. This is a simple template, which is fine. For a beginner, this is great. This is not an AI template. This is a fine landing page. It's different than what I do, but not by that much. Let's look at the live page because this is the most important. What does it look like when people are attending the webinar? I'm very interested to see. You have your logo. You have a place to put your headline. This is the video that you'll replace with the webinar video. I would say that this is not beginner friendly just because this is a platform you have to learn how to use it. So it's very possible that after the AI element, I would just pay someone to build it for me. I know that I can hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork, probably a couple $100s to build out my entire funnel. So if I do that, it saves me a massive amount of time, especially if I hire someone who can do the graphical elements. Nothing is blowing me away, which is okay because this is not the AI element. This is just a quick review of a bonus you get because I care about the AI element. Writing all the copy for me saves me so much time. All the templates are similar. This is a long form sales page. I tend to work from templates anyways. I just happen to work from different templates. All of this to me is just a bonus. This is an absolute bonus for some people. For me, it's not necessary because I already have platforms I use. If you're starting out though, oh my gosh, like the value you get here is that the software has every tool you could possibly need, from the ability to text, to take payments, to set up meetings, to send out autoresponder emails, to build funnels. Overall, I would say a huge amount of value, but the value comes from the technology that you get, the software platform, the page building, all of the tools, as opposed to the templates. The templates to me are the least interesting part, but you do get them in several platforms. I know they're going to be releasing these for ClickFunnels and some other page builders as well in the future. I have a feeling that these are going to get better and better. My final thoughts, we answer one question here, and that is OnlineCourses.ai worth the price on the tin? As a copywriting tool, this is the best AI copywriting tool I've ever seen. by a country mile. It took me 1 hour with you watching to shoot the entire video, to make all of the content, and to generate a funnel that has multiple pages with all of these elements. I like that they give you a lot to choose from on each page. Very useful. From landing page to sales page, live page to replay page. And the copy is pretty good. It's not as good as you're going to get if you pay a copywriter $25,000. Okay. Because that's a tier one copywriter, very expensive. That level of copywriter is also going to take like anywhere from 10 to 30% of your revenue from what they've created. So it can get very expensive. As far as what you get from the funnel, the email copy, how quickly it designs stuff, the quality of what it generated, a lot of what it came up with, to me, it's really solid. I'm going to be using this tool. Now that I understand it, I had no idea going in. So now that I know how the tool works, I'm really excited by this, because what I wanted to see was, can this really fit a special place in my market? I originally thought of this as a competitor to Coursera, but Coursera was really a course delivery platform. This is all of the copywriting that goes around it. So these aren't even competitors. I'm surprised at the name of this program, because what it actually does is build an amazing marketing funnel, which is more valuable and more powerful. It did help me come up with the ideas for my course, but the real value, the real majesty is that it came up with this awesome ad copy that's very helpful, and it's helped me to structure something. So for me, this 100% meets a need I already have in my business. So it's absolutely useful. And I see this working in tandem with Coursera instead of as a competitor. So I'm really excited by that result. I fully recommend this product. You've seen me use it in action, so you can see what it can and cannot do. The strength is the copywriting and how quickly it helps you design stuff. It doesn't ask you a lot of questions. It's usually looking for 1 to 2 sentences. The only areas where I took longer were my areas of expertise, which is designing exactly what I want the course to be and working on the bonuses. Most of it came from their content. I am very interested in how the result came out. It helped me design a lot of the things that I feel really good about. Overall, I think this is a great tool. It does a little different than I thought it was going to do going in. This is a copywriting tool. It builds your funnels. It builds a lot of your marketing materials. This is where most people get stuck. So this to me is actually, by a wide distance, this is the best copywriting tool in the market. It's a better copywriting result than I'm able to get when I use ChatGPT directly, simply because this is way faster. When I use ChatGPT myself with my copywriting prompts or what I do, it's a much slower, more arduous process. So this saves a lot of time. I see this as an accelerator. I'm very impressed by this. I wasn't sure if I was going to be. I went through some moments where I was a little bit nervous along the way here. And if you follow me and end up on my email list and see some of the things that I'm doing, you will see this copy get deployed. I'm actually going to use this tool in my business. It didn't save me 100 hours. It saved me about 40, which is not bad. It gave me back an entire week. 1 hour for 40 is a really good exchange rate. For a beginner, I think it is closer to that 100 hours. To come up with things like design your customer avatar is very difficult for a beginner. Coming up with a brand voice is really hard. So some of these questions, as I would say, are brutally difficult that it answers in a matter of seconds and saves you a huge amount of time. So I'm very pleased with this tool. I'm very excited by this tool, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for it. So it's definitely something that I'm going to be adding to my recommended tools page. And I'm going to start using it more and more in my own business, because there are a couple of sales pages I actually need to update. And I'm going to use this tool to write the new copy, because I was actually just messaging a friend of mine to get a copywriter recommendation. And now I can bypass all that. This is going to save me a lot of time. I'm very excited. This is a new part of my business. Hope you guys appreciated this. Please let me know your thoughts below. If you see the usefulness in this tool, what type of reviews you guys want to see, what kind of demonstrations you want to see, if you want the videos to be longer or shorter, let me know. I'm trying to find that perfect balance of giving you real information to be in action without letting it get to boring. Doing my best here. Thank you so much for following. There's more videos coming in the future. Thank you so much again. This is Jonathan from Serve No Master. As always, covering the best AI products with the best reviews and doing my best for you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that video, I think you're going to like this one, or maybe even this one. Check them out.